But I tend to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch and I'm going to look dead straight into the mirror. Because if I look at an angle, that's one of the problems with faces. There's so many parts of the face that like go in and out and protrude that it makes it very, very difficult to draw straight lines in certain cases. So we're going to go looking dead straight in the mirror. And we're going to draw one straight line, or as straight line as straight as we can get it, down to the bottom other side of the face. Just like that. Perfect.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to take another side, the other side, and we're going to do the other angle.
Other angle.
So, yeah, so we're going to go down here, and then this will complete the casted ray.
Oh, okay. Casted ray.
So every time I do a look, I tend to sketch it out first.
Oh, okay. Like this. Whoa.
Right, nice. Perfect. Okay, so the reason why skulls and clowns are really easy to start with is because they're highly customizable. So a skull, when you ask like which one should we do, so I wanted to go with a skull because one of the things that you can do is you can press your face so slightly and you can feel where the bone structure needs to go. So you can feel where you need to draw it, right? So in this instance, what we can do here is we can feel our orbital bone. And so the general shape of the orbital bone you'll be able to poke at and feel. And then you can get a good idea of what that's going to look like. So sketch in the eye. Let me zoom in for you. So to sketch in the eye, I'm going to start here.
Thank you for the
I'm going
sub,
to
guys.
start here.
Okay.
And
bones.
Slowly bring it round like a very, very light moon shape, very, very shallow. And then I'm going to feel where my orbital bone goes to. So I can feel it goes round there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of follow that. So if you're ever struggling, you can always press the inside of your face for a skull and be like, okay, it has to go there. That's why skulls are really good to start with. So you can feel where the recess is just underneath the eye as well. So you can start to poke at that and it kind of confirms where you're drawing. And then on the other side of the eye, so you can either, if you want, you can kind of curve it around so it's a bit more of like an oval. Or one of the things I like to do is I like to slightly dip it inwards, because you can see the shape of the eye with the skin. It does curve in so slightly, so then that can help with some of the illusion.
Oh, okay. Illusion is important.
Because one of the things with skulls is it's all about shading.
Oh, okay. Shading.
Okay.
Ooh. What you think?
Looks good.
Yeah.
Chat, what do you think?
What do you think, guys?
All right, fab. So we're going to carry on sketching out.
Good, right?
One of the things that we can do is usually above the orbital bone around here as well. It's fun, in my opinion, to add a little bit of a small C just around there, because it can add to a slight expression. And so when you start doing stuff like this, it can give some of the skulls expressions, which is generally quite an interesting thing to do with skulls because they generally are quite expressionless. So that's how we can get things like Ghost Rider looks, where Ghost Rider looks angry. It's because we've drawn more into the orbital bone and added shading that way.
Interesting,
right?
Interesting.
So the next thing I'm going to do is the nose tends to have, like, there's no bone, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have to draw 2 triangles in here to kind of mimic what it would look like. And this is another reason why when you have a look like a skull, sometimes with makeup looks, they can only be shot and photographed from one angle, because when you move, it removes the illusion.
Oh.
And so that's why skulls are good to start with, because you start to understand the basis of like makeup and how certain illusions are going to work. So we're going to draw two kind of like right angled triangles going down from the nose on either side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to leave a slight gap in the middle. So I'm so sorry about the difference between our chats right now. My chat is like, she's doing so great. She's learning so good at such speed. Wow, she's doing amazing. Your chat is, that's not a triangle.
There's my chat. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, two triangles on this.
Okay.
Okay, great. One of the hard parts about doing a skull is the teeth. And the reason why is
teeth
because...
look so cool.
Yeah, it's really strange because when you start moving your face around, the teeth move as well. So you get some really interesting photos. But one of the difficult things about teeth is drawing them so that they sit correct on the face. If you draw it in a straight line, you're going to kind of look like a Scarecrow cartoon or Jack Skellington. So we have to slightly bend it in a really, again, shallow U shape. So it's a little bit like the moon, but it's been turned. So this one's going to be a bit tricky because obviously we're drawing it on the mouth and we're talking. So what we're going to do is, if you take the edges of the corners of your mouth, they're your anchor points. Because certain things on the face when we're doing makeup, we can't change. So we're going to take the anchor points here and we're going to just elongate that so slightly. Like this. As if we're doing a little bit of like a Harley Quinn Joker smile. But what we're going to do then is we're going to curve it so slightly upwards. But really, really slightly. So not in an aggressive manner. We're just going to so slightly bring up that way because...
I think I'm amazingly... I think I'm doing an amazing job, chat.
You are. You're doing fab.
Thank you. Oh, so up like this.
No,
Okay.
Forgive me for this shot. But if we look at the teeth, you'll see that they don't go in a straight line. So here, you can see the curve up, right? So we need to mimic that because they're going to curve so slightly upwards. So that's what we need to imitate. And then we're going to do the same on the other side up to the edge of that ray.
Is that your real teeth though, or is that painting? The in the picture?
They're painted.
That's painted. Whoa.
Oh, no, yes. Yeah, so they're they're painted on the face, but
so
it feels weird sometimes when you start talking because there's another set of teeth.
Oh,
like
okay,
a shot.
okay.
Right.
No, I'm just asking, making sure.
No, you're fine. I thought you meant, do I have veneers? And I was like, oh god, no, but thanks. Okay, so now we've got the base of that. One of the things that we can play around with the skull is the cheekbone. So you can feel where your cheekbone is, right? You can feel how it goes around the face. So one of the things that you can do is you can feel where it's going to sit. But the shape that we're going to do is a little bit like the top of an S or the bottom, but we're only going to do one of them. So the shape of this is going to end roughly around between the nose and the middle of your iris. And we're going to do a small shape, which is like the top of a S, and just curve that round. And then bring that down there, up until the edge of the ray that we've drawn. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. That looks good. Can you start to see how the skull's starting to take a bit of a shape? Like a bit of a form. Yeah. Perfect. So, yeah. And you've done it perfectly with leaving a gap between the top of the line and your mouth as well, because they're not fully connected just yet. Another thing that we're going to do is when we look at a skull from an angle at the front, we need to accommodate for the fact that if we were to do it correctly, we wouldn't see some of the details. So we need to bring some of the details forward. So the back jawbone, even though that's almost next to your ear, we need to bring it to the front so slightly so we can see it, which helps sell the illusion. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring a line from here and we're just going to draw down, and then we're going to make like a backwards L all the way to the front. And then we can shade that later on, so it helps to imitate what a skull would look like. Obviously, if we turn our heads too far, people are gonna realize it doesn't make sense. But that's one of the things about makeup is a lot of the time, the lighting and the photos, everything has to add to it to sell this one illusion, which is why sometimes with a lot of cosplays, they're only gonna work in certain instances. And so all of my looks, they tend to work with very controlled lighting.
So cool. Okay.
Okay, so now that we've done that on the one side, it's looking good. We've done that on the one side up until where we've got the next line for the ray. We're going to imitate and do it completely symmetrical, but just stop when it comes to the line because this is the only part that we're going to be filling in with the skull. So we're just going to slightly copy so that when it comes through, it's going to be the same.
Like that?
Perfect.
Alright. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then thank you so much for the sub. Thank you very much, Cindy. What we're going to do, the hard part, and this is genuinely something that a lot of people struggle with, I still struggle with it, is drawing on the teeth because they're just genuinely very difficult, right?
Yeah,
So we're going to slightly sketch them out and we can do them very, very lightly, but no worries if they don't turn out perfectly on your first go. That's completely fine. They're just tough to draw. So we're going to start with the middle teeth, and that would naturally sit between your the middle of your lips. So we're just going to draw a slight line in the middle of the front two teeth there and on the bottom lip. And then with a tooth, the general shape of a tooth, which we would assume we know, is kind of like a teardrop shape, but it's blunt at the bottom. So we're going to draw essentially a bunch of teeth looking like they're sitting behind each other by drawing teardrops until they go further back. As we go further back, they're going to become more and more hidden, so we can do more narrow teeth. So if we start at first, we're going to do the first tooth, which is going to be like a teardrop.
Teardrop. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this was... Guys, stop Pepe laughing. I'm doing great right now.
My chats have said that you're doing 12 out of 10.
Nice. Thank you, guys. I feel like I need like a better like this teeth part is very difficult.
Yeah, the teeth are really hard.
Okay. This.
I mean, for extra horror factor, you could just add more teeth. Or less, I suppose.
True. How many teeth do we have?
Oh, I don't know. I had a bunch removed, so I don't think I'm good for counting.
Guys, look at me. Okay. How far? Like maybe up until here? Up until here? Do we draw?
Yes, you can draw them in because we'll shade that later on anyway, so it gives the illusion that they're being cast forwards.
I guess some of my teeth are gonna look a little weird, chat.
That's okay. It's no problem. Not everyone has to have perfect teeth, even skulls. Have you seen what a baby skull looks like? They have all their teeth in it for adulthood, so they all go into like the cheeks. It's really scary.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's frightening. Oh my god, yeah. I studied like a slight amount of archaeology at university, and we had to look at the baby skull, and it still had all the teeth in its head. And it was just because it has all baby teeth and all adult teeth. It's very frightening.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I have 6 teeth. Do you think this is enough teeth?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's a good amount of teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Which is easy, because then you kind of just match what you've done on the top. I actually have a question for you. So, everyone always says that you like to do a lot of scuff cosplays, but if you could do one legit cosplay and make it really, really, really fire, what cosplay would it be?
I don't know. What do you think? I did Lara, that was pretty
Yeah, it was a really good Lara cosplay. I saw you throwing kicks in the streets.
Yeah. And then Buzz Lightyear? Buzz Lightyear was not. I did it!
ABBA. No, looks good. Good. You feeling good about it?
Yeah! I think
Okay,
it's
good.
very nice.
Fab. Okay, so now that we've got that sketched out, the other parts of it are just, they'll be painted over, so we'll be doing detail work on that later on. That's no problem. So now we're going to go in with some paint. So you wanted to go for red and purple.
Painting time.
Are you wanting to paint on your shoulder as well, or just the face?
Face is good.
Face is good.
Yeah.
All right, let's figure out how we're going to get red and purple in here.
Red.
Right, let's have a look.
So purple. What is some legit cosplay that I could do, chat? Frog? Oh, not frog. Buzz was the best. Buzz was pretty good. Oh, cannot remove this.
Oh, is the plastic on the top of the snazaroo?
Yeah, okay, I did it. Tifa or Lara? Yeah, but I've done Tifa or Lara pretty legit, like them some new one. This is legit cosplay over here that we're doing, chat. Yeah, Tifa and Lara that I did was pretty legit, chat. Ada Wong. Who's Ada Wong? Oh, you mean that Ada Wong from Resident Evil? Resident Evil? Ada Wong from Resident Evil, chat? Yep.
No, I think I played
Wong.
that. I've only played 7 and 8. Which ones have you played? If you played any. Have you played Resident Evil?
Yeah, I played tons. I played, what is it? 2 and then 3. I don't know, like all the remakes. I haven't played 4 though. I haven't played 4.
That one's just come out, though, hasn't it? That one's just come out. Well, yeah. I did 7 and 8, and then I tried to do 7 in VR. And within 5 minutes,
VR?
I threw the VR off my face. Oh my god, it was so frightening. All he did was waft a fly away from his face, and I panicked so hard I threw the VR set off my face, so I know I can't do it.
VR is way too scary. I mean, if you play a horror game with VR, yeah. 4 is good.
All right.
Yeah, people say 4 is pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people enjoy 4. I think it looks quite good. Okay, so I think the best thing to do would be to start off with...
Champ.
I think what we can do is start off with the red.
Start off with the
Or we
red,
can pick
okay.
purple. I'm trying to think of the best one. Let's go in with the red at the top.
At the top. Okay.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is up here we're gonna fill in all of this section with red, this triangle at the top. So I'm just gonna paint that in, and we're gonna avoid the little circle that we've drawn, the oval that we've drawn around our eye.
So it's already looking pretty cool, chat. Okay, so skip the part where.
Yeah. So where we've sketched around the eye, let's skip that. And then we're gonna slowly bring this down. Can you show me what shade of purple you have?
This one? It's kind of like dark.
That's pretty dark. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's. I think the best thing for you, in that case, would be we'll use the purple to help shade the red, and then we'll go. It will look like everything is kind of red, but it'll be darker because using a dark purple will help shade the red, because getting a dark red is very difficult for shading.
Okay.
But this means that if we use a dry brush, we'll be able to get some more detail in with the purple, right? Color theory. So what we'll do is,
Oh, did you major in art before, or?
I'm a graphic designer by trade, which is why I like doing a lot of the stuff with the video stuff, because I used to do a lot of stuff for companies. But I used to do a lot of corporate stuff. Like IBM used to be one of my clients, and they suck. It was boring. I didn't like it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, everything around the nose as well, apart from the triangles. We're gonna cover that with the red.
Wow, the paint quality of yours is really good. Mine is like children's, some scuffed paint.
Yeah, that's what I started out with. I actually know that there was a convention for makeup and body paint in London, and it was sponsored by Snazaroo, and the representatives of Snazaroo couldn't understand why none of the demoed artists that were paid to be there were using Snazaroo. Which was interesting for them to find out on the day. Yeah. I think part of the problem is that yours is a little bit more waxy. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna continue to bring this down so slightly. And we're just going to avoid the teeth for now because they're quite difficult to work around, and we want to keep the outline of the teeth. So let's work around them for now. Let's just fill in all of this area, but fill it in a way that you don't completely saturate it with color, just so we can still slightly see the sketch lines underneath it, because they're our guide.
Okay.
Waxy is a nice way of saying cheap.
versus the cosplays you told me not to worry about. I don't know why my paint is so like. Thank you for 3 months. Oh, thank you so much. Oh wow, you're fast. Okay. Your chat, it's okay. We are doing it right now. Very well. Wait, Yeah, it looks good, chat. It looks good.
Good, you're doing really well.
Okay, and then the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, so you want to fill in the jawline as well.
There you go. Wait. Can I see your? Oh, never mind. Okay, I see. Is it like this? Did I do it?
Yes, perfect. Look at that.
All right.
Nice. Right.
All right. Okay. Yeah, but I do think my red should be a little darker.
That's okay, because we've got the shading to add in later, so that's not a problem. Okay. So, what we're going to do next is we are going to take the black paint. So take a different brush.
Oh,
and
different
we're gonna
brush.
take
Okay.
black. Yeah. I always find it easier to use multiple brushes because then it's easy for me to swap between them.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to now dip into the black paint. Again, we're just going to activate it with a little bit of water because they're all water activated, right? Also, if this doesn't come off in the shower, don't panic. It will definitely come off like in 3 days or something.
In 3 days, damn.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, you're fine. Yeah, you just want to make sure, like, maybe use like a makeup remover or something.
Okay.
It's totally fine, and it's not permanently stained. Everyone freaks out.
Yeah, I was like, damn, how am I gonna fly with this?
You're fine.
Black is ready.
Right. Okay. So the best place to start, because we've probably got quite a lot of paint on the brush, is the area that's got the most black in it. So one of the areas which we're going to do there is we're going to go in around the eye. So the orbital bone, we'll paint this black. All inside here, because that part would naturally be sunken in. But skulls are always a good place to start because you can customize them quite a lot. So obviously we're customizing this one by doing like a triangle on the face. And then we can add accessories to it, and we're not doing the whole face. That's why they're a good place to start. Because also, if you ever start feeling stuck about where you need to go with a skull, then you can just kind of like push your face, right, and feel where everything needs to belong. Which is why I think they're really good for beginners, especially.
Damn, the quality of yours is so good.
Yeah, this one that I'm using is Mayron. They're really lovely to me. They do send me paints regularly, which is very nice. It's really helpful. Because they're expensive. That's alright. One day I'll turn you into a full-fledged goblin. That'll be really high quality.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Full goblin.
Full goblin mode.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Should I do it more?
Now. More?
Yeah, like over here.
Yeah? Yeah. If you feel nervous about going too close to your eye, then we can do that with eyeshadow.
Oh, okay.
So, if it's something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, no problem. We'll do it a different method.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't like going too close to their eye, which is fine. Okay, so then the triangles on the nose, fill those in as well.
Okay. Guys, I think it's my camera that's not doing the justice.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, Chad, I think if the camera was what camera do you use? Your camera seems like it's really high quality.
Chat, can someone do exclamation mark setup in my stream?
I have very good IRL like camera, like phone, the newest one. But like I haven't updated the PC setup in years, so it's like all trash.
I mean, what's the point really when you're always out, right?
Yeah. Yay mods.
I'm using a Sony FDR AX33 4K Ultra.
Oh, so it's not webcam, it's like camera.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so then the next part might be a little bit tricky because it's going to seem a little illogical at first. What we're going to do is we're going to start painting this area, but we're not going to bring it round the entire way. And what I mean by that is we're just going to slightly paint this here, like as if we're going to fill it in. Then we're going to fill in the back of it here, because this part we need to add some kind of like more shading to, right? So we're just going to slightly fade it forwards so that part's filled in. There, just so slightly. And then we're going to leave it. That's where we're going to start.
Like this?
Yes. Yes, like that. Okay, fab. My chat are saying that you're doing great. You're doing wonderful at speed painting, especially. Okay, so the next thing that will probably be the best thing to do is to take out the black eyeshadow so we can start to get a bit more familiar with the shading around that. So let me grab my eyeshadow palette as well.
Guys, her background is gorgeous, and then yours. My background is human.
My background is from Amazon, okay?
Amazon!
Amazon, yeah. Wall tiles, textured. Add a light to it. Done. Underneath it, the wall is stained.
Did you just drink Grey for the first time? Exactly, man. This is my first time. Okay.
All right. Let me move this so slightly up. Make that a bit easier. Okay, cool. So then we're going to go in with the eyeshadow. And for the eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with a flat brush. And I know you've got yourself some of these flat brushes as well.
Flat brush. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Did I put my brush? Oh, there you go. Flat brush. Okay. Small flat brush. There. And this one we don't have to use water, right? Just do it?
No. This is perfect, just eyeshadow. Okay, so what we can start with is, you know how I was mentioning we did a really faint C around the eyebrow earlier? We can start by going in and packing a little bit more of the eyeshadow on the C, and then so slightly fading it out. So we can just slightly bring that shadow down and out around there. Then we can start adding in some small details around the eye. So we can start by bringing a small line as if we were going to outline it underneath the hole that we've drawn in for the eye as well. So we can slightly sketch that in. Just as if we were going to outline it, but we're not going to do the entire thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag some of that black eyeshadow down.
What's this?
Just really, really softly.
It's a random music. Chat, you want to change music, chat? She's doing what version? Oh, you gave gradation. Okay, that's good. Let me also try giving a gradation a little bit.
Yeah, so we're just going to so softly bring that back down and fade that out. We just add a little bit of shading in.
Like this.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, doing it.
Very much like adding in eyeshadow. You know when you add eyeshadow and you kind of like softly blend it out? Same principle, exactly the same. So with the leftover eyeshadow that's on the brush, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little bit into the nose concave here, just to add a little bit more interest to this part. So I'm just going to so slightly follow that as if I'm adding in a little bit of extra shading there. I'm just going to drag that down, and it'll also soften part of the black that we've added in as well, so it doesn't look too harsh.
What do you think, chat? Compare to hers. It's good.
Oh, you're doing really well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit left over of the eyeshadow, and where the line is very, very clean cut, I'm just going to add a little bit of eyeshadow around that, just so it blends it a little bit more. So we're just going to pretend we're adding like an edge blur.
Edge blur?
Around that, yeah. Just so it doesn't seem too harsh, because if it's harsh it will seem a bit more unnatural, which I appreciate. The whole thing is a kind of unnatural thing to do anyway, but one of the things about makeup is we've tried to make some stuff look as if like it could be real. So blur those edges along.
I'm like looking at the camera and then doing it, so I'm not really sure if it's making any difference.
Maybe in the end, it's one of those things, small things that all add up to one big thing at the end.
Yeah.
So okay, and then we can also kind of get an idea of where our orbital bone is. But to add a little bit of expression to the skull, where we can see where the eyebrow would be, we're going to gently add another line up here, very, very softly, just along like that. Yeah, like a very, very faint curved line. And then I'm also going to drag that out and blend that upwards at the top.
Slightly. I am doing it slightly, chat.
To blend as well, if that makes it easier for you, because some people just do it a little bit differently. Whatever makes you feel better. Grand. Yes, very good. Okay, cool. So we're gonna also, you know how we kind of like blended a little bit around the eye? We're gonna do the same thing on the nose as well, because otherwise it can look a little bit too cartoon-like, and we want it to seem a little bit more realistic. So let's just add those in around the edges, soften that up around here.
nose. What do you think about my nose, Ched? Is it like...
Well, skulls don't really have noses, so...
Yeah, true.
So I guess it's fine, right?
Damn, look at Mel.
Yep.
I know. She looks fabulous. Okay.
Thank you so much. Right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the eyeshadow that's left over on this brush, and we're going to, you see the part of the nose that connects in the middle? We're going to add a little bit of shading to that because we need to kind of like push it back as if we need to kind of like pretend it's not there. So a lot of makeup is like, for instance, when you use highlight and contour, it's pushing parts of the face forward and pushing parts of it back, which is how we exaggerate things like cheekbones, etc. So by using darker colors, we can push part of it back. So I'm just going to so slightly shade the bottom part of my nose so it pushes it back as if we're going to be doing it on the foreground, as if it was going to go into the background, not the foreground.
Like this.
Yeah, perfect. And then,
no.
very similar to how we did the line around the orbiting bone. We're just going to go and do that around the top of the cheekbone up here. So we're going to go again, and we're just going to slightly bring that round and add a little bit more definition there, which just makes them a little bit more expressive, a little bit more fun. It's always nice to add little details in.
You could totally do this professionally. Me? This? Chet? Really?
Professional streamer. This is professional.
Oh, do you blend the eyes too a little bit, kind of?
Yeah. So all I'm doing now is I'm just dragging a little bit more around the nose around here because I feel like this area is quite large and it would need a little bit of something. So I'm just taking some of the extra that's on the brush and I'm just dragging it around here because that'll soften this area. One of the things that I don't want is everything to be a little bit too harsh. I like things to be quite softly blended, but I also like having quite neat lines. How many years have I been doing paints? I've been painting for about 12 years. All right, nice. Okay, so the back You muted? Okay, you're muted. Jinny's chat, just as we said, Jinny's a professional streamer. Jinny's a professional mobile streamer. There's a difference, okay? Yeah, sorry, I can't hear these screams of frustration. Sorry, gal.
Can you guys hear me now? I think you guys can hear me now. It got a little unplugged. Yeah, it got unplugged or something. Weird. Mel is muted. What? Yeah. Well, I thought she muted because she muted her mic here. Wait. Mel. She's not muted on my side. What happened? Oh, wait. Maybe this. When I got disconnected, maybe it changed. How about
the output?
There you go. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
There we
okay,
go.
it works. Damn, it got disconnected. Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
I feel like the bane of a streamer's life is tech problems. It's the bane of my life anyway. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, remember how I said we had to have this section of the jaw, and we need to slightly push that back. At the top of the jaw, we're going to add a little bit of black eyeshadow and then just drag that down. And then you'll start to see how like the shading starts to add a lot more definition, and lifts some stuff up and pushes some stuff back.
Like
Just
this.
Doing great.
Doing great?
Perfect. Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay.
Grand. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be really, really tough, which is going to be the teeth. So,
Teeth, okay.
teeth. Bear with us. Bear with yourself. It's a tough part to do. I still struggle with it sometimes. Right. So we're going to go back into the paints, and we're probably going to be best off using a smaller brush. So if we go back, if we go back with the red.
Red, okay.
And so I'm going to take a little bit of water and I'm going to take a little bit of the red paint.
Why are you guys probably laughing, Chad? This will look amazing.
It looks great. It looks really great. You're doing really well.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, cool. So we're going to fill in all the teeth that we've drawn in, which is going to be a little bit tricky because obviously they're very small. But just take your time with it. Bear with yourself. It'll be a bit tricky at first, but just go through and fill in all of the teeth.
With red? Okay. Thank you for 34 months off. Thank you. Okay, let me see. Hold.
That you made sound mouth-watering. What did you put in them?
Huh?
The brownies that you made earlier, they sound so mouth-watering. What did you put in them?
Oh, egg and chocolate. And a little bit of pancake mix. Thank you for 13 months off. Thank you. Yeah. That's it. Okay, this is like kind of like a putting on a lipstick.
Yeah, but more, right? Exactly. What's really interesting as well about certain reds. So one of the reasons why the MAC Ruby Woo lipstick was really iconic is because they actually put a slight touch of blue in the red lipstick, and that means that it gives the illusion that your teeth are whiter,
Mm.
which is why it's very successful lipstick. So it's really interesting how a lot of color theory works. So when you start using things like certain reds, it has different effects on the face, and so it's really interesting how a lot of makeup works, because not a lot of people realize the science behind some makeup and cosmetics as well, which is really interesting.
I wish my teeth looked whiter. Now it looks like a clown, chat.
Right, it has to look worse before it gets better. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back in with the with the red on the bigger brush, and I'm slightly just gonna fill in this bottom jaw.
Okay.
Yeah? So just underneath here, we're now gonna connect that to the top, to the bottom of the teeth, and I'm just gonna really lightly fade that out to the edges. Really, really, really lightly, because that needs to be shaded. Stream stickers, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Nice.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the next thing that we get, you know how earlier on we slightly faded some of the black paint on the right hand side of the cheek, right? And we've got now like this like little gap. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start blending that out a little bit more before we go in with the shadow to make the blend a lot softer, because this part's gonna be completely black anyway. We might as well just paint it. So starting from the top of the teeth, I'm gonna very lightly drag it upwards
with the red paint.
With the red, yeah. You can use a different brush or a bigger one, whichever makes you feel a bit better. And then we're going to start blending those two colors together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right?
Oh, shit. Punched in my eye. Blended. Look.
And then on the other side, where there would be, or where we would have continued, let's just so slightly add back in the top part of that cheekbone definition down there, where it's going to connect to the top of the teeth. And we can so slightly add that in as well, so it looks consistent.
Guys, it did blend, right?
If it isn't blended too well, we're going to go back in with the eyeshadow anyway, so it's not a problem.
It's just painting on the face.
Nice. How are you feeling so far? You feeling good about it? Feeling ready?
Yeah. It's fun. Okay.
Okay. Next week, Jinny's professional cosplayer. Okay? Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, nice. My chat have said Jinny is a natural. She really is. Jinny's doing really impressive work.
Really?
12 out of 10. Yes. That's what my chat's saying.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, did you also do the lips? Like connect the lips?
I just extended it so slightly, but we can go to that with an eyeliner pen, which will make it easier for later. Okay, so now we've done that. Again, we're going to go back in with the black eyeshadow, but this time we're going to use a brush which we could use for a little bit of blending.
Okay.
So do you have a brush which may be a little bit fluffier? If not, that's okay. We can still work with what you've got.
No, I just have a...
You have the painting brushes, yeah?
Yeah, paintbrush.
That's no problem. Oh! gosh, thank you so much for the £20 donation. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Ah,
thank you.
Thank you. Maths versus art. This is art too, Chet.
Thanks so much. Thank you. How much is she paying you? No, look, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm giving Jinny a free lesson, okay? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take the black eyeshadow and we're going to so slightly blend that out a little bit more to just make that a little bit softer, which is why it's no problem if it didn't work out with the blend as much as you wanted it to. It's not a problem at all. So let's just deepen some of that, bring some of it forward on both sides. So we're just gonna make it super, super, super blended. A lot of the time, if you're struggling with shading with face paints, it's easier to then go in with an eyeshadow and just add that blend in, because it's very soft and it's a bit more easy. It's a bit easier to control. Okay, perfect. So then we're going to take a little bit more of the black eyeshadow, and starting from the back of the teeth, if we just very lightly, very, very lightly fan it up and down until we get a little bit further to the front, you'll see we'll add a bit more of a gradient, which will start to push some of those teeth back a bit more.
Kind of like, guys. Actually, this looks really good on mobile camera. Teddy, how do I show with the mobile camera?
Yeah, we could have like travel version.
Seriously, chat. Give me the RTMP so that I can double camera it.
The chat said the first time doing something is super hard and doing it in front of everyone, especially like this, and Jinny's doing really awesome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for 5 months, thank you so much. Okay, now what should we do?
Right, perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in with the eyeliner pen.
Eyeliner pen. Ooh, okay. I have eyeliner pen.
Okay, I have 10, but also right this moment I have not, because I always lose it.
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm going to use double so that you guys will be able to see. Okay.
My chat says I don't think Jinny's used to having nice messages.
My chat, your chat is saying what?
My chat said I don't think Jinny seems to be used to receiving nice messages.
Oh. Have you guys seen my chat?
Yeah, no, it's in your chat.
Okay. Wait a sec. Well, no, there are actually people who say nice stuff. Quite a lot. And then every time there's like a people who say nice stuff, chat is like pogo paid comments. But I know they're trolling, so yeah. And there are people that says nice stuff.
No, they're very lovely. They make me laugh. I like your ending screen.
Oh yeah, sure is cool.
Button. But my favorite is at the end of your starting soon screen video when you're trying to get into the sea with what seems to be a homemade boat.
Oh yeah.
Maybe scuffling. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I made it. I made the boat.
Yeah, you made a boat out. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did the boat take you to make? It was a good boat, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It did float. No.
Mm. That's okay. Yeah, it's come up with the feels like, man. You're good.
Back. Okay, back. Okay. So
Alright.
eyeliner.
You ready for the next step? Yeah. How you feeling about it so far? You feeling good?
Yeah. I like it.
Good. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So where we could see the outline of the teeth that we did before, we're going to outline them now, but with the eyeliner pen, right? So we're just going to draw around what we've drawn before, and then we can start adding in some more details. One of the things to note as well is when you're using an eyeliner pen, are you using a foam tip or a brush tip? What kind of eyeliner are you using?
The eyeliner. This.
What's the tip like? Does it have small hairs?
Yeah.
All right, brush tip. Okay, so then what you know about what we can do with the brush tip, which you probably already know as well, is if you use the absolute end of the brush, you'll get a thinner line. If you press a bit further, you'll get a thicker line, right? So just note that when you're putting the line between the teeth, that has to be quite thin for the best kind of like illusion of it. So just go around and outline the teeth.
Outline the teeth. Okay. You check this game is clearer. What do you think, chat? Not bad, right? Actually, not bad. I'm telling you.
Oh, looks good.
Right? Okay. Okay.
Okay, fab. Then the next thing that we're going to do is where the teeth are.
Where the teeth
they
are.
would, yeah, at the top of them, they would naturally, well, if you look at your own teeth up here, you can see a slight shadow and a slight outline, especially around here, where they continue to go up with a root, right? So we're going to draw in the root of the tooth.
Root of the tooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way we're going to do that is between each line of each tooth, we're going to draw another line as if it's going upwards. So we're just going to continue it just like this, like that. We're just going to
the root. Okay. Damn.
And then for the bottom teeth, we're going to do the same thing, but we might need to curve the lines so slightly because they're going to bend inwards a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw them as if I want them all to start pointing towards my chin.
Okay. Pointing towards the chin. Oh, Chad, if I can learn this really well, I could probably do some cool cosplays during the Halloween time, shit.
So then, taking the eyeliner and the lines that we made earlier, I'm just running the eyeliner over them so slightly, just to make them a little bit more prominent. And then, the part between the two teeth on the lips, that area, it wouldn't make sense for it to just kind of like exist with nothing. So we need to kind of draw the bottom in of the teeth, or either the bottom of the top row or the top of the bottom row. And for that, I'm just going to take the eyeliner and I'm just going to fill in the top part of the lip. But when it comes to drawing in the bottom of the teeth, we can just so slightly flatten some of them out. And they don't all have to fully have the same height as well, so you can adjust the height. In some cases, what I've done before is I've used this opportunity to draw in fangs, etc. So like they're very customizable. No worries.
Jinny looks less scary now. Now? I look less scary now than before.
Where's the when?
as opposed to normal times. Not bad, right, Chad?
Look really terrible at the beginning for it to start to make sense. Hi, comrade. How are you?
What's wrong with my nose? Okay.
All right, nice. So then we're going to go back in with the black eyeshadow as well. And then we're going to start shading around the teeth. So underneath the bottom row, we're going to slightly add a slight line here and just drag that down.
Like
so we can...
kind of blending?
Yes, as if we're going to pretend that's where it connects to, like, as if it was going to go into, like, a gum.
Oh.
But obviously there's no gum. And then, once we've dragged that down so slightly, I'm going to take the black eyeshadow and then I'm going to go just as if it was behind each tooth. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading as if each tooth sits further back from each other.
Wait, what? You weren't supposed to paint all
Here.
the nose. Well, I have big nose. Oh, okay. What am I
So
supposed
here
to...
you can see, for instance, I'll do it again on this side. You see here, between, as if this tooth sits in front of this one. So let's add a little bit of shading here.
Ah,
This tooth
in
sits front of this
between.
one. Yeah. So as if we're pushing them back so we get the idea that one sits behind each other.
A little bit of shading, chat.
And we're going to do the same for the bottom teeth as well.
Chat, let's be honest. This is my first time and it looks... I think I'm doing really great, right, chat? Without trolling.
Oh yeah, there we go. Looks good, looks really good. You're doing well. Great, perfect. Yes,
Thank you.
thought deleted. But
Good?
honestly, a lot of the time it's tricky because the
Mhm.
consistency of the paint is very different
Yeah.
to like anything people used before. So a lot of the time when people start using like a new medium, whether that's like oil paint or water or watercolors, then it's really confusing because it's not. You have to understand how it works first. So I think yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so we're going to continue very slightly up the gum. You know the gum line that we did? Let's add a little bit more and fade that up as it goes to the top. That one's quite straightforward. Just bring those ones up. And then I'm going to take a really small brush. If I can find one.
Up.
Yeah. Just up, so fade it up slightly. And then with a little bit of that black eyeshadow, you probably won't need the purple actually. With a little bit of the black eyeshadow, we're gonna just slightly shade above the tooth. Just so slightly there. Just so we can make it look a little bit like it sits differently. Sits away.
When you're finished, you have to take photo and post it. Yeah, for sure. I'm not just gonna remove it without taking any photos.
Content creators' worst nightmare. I forgot to take photos, forgot to take videos.
Delete the evidence. No. Okay.
Okay, nice. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go in with a really small amount of white paint and a really small brush.
Ooh, highlighting time.
Yes, exactly.
I like highlighting. Okay. Clap, clap, clap. Just a small amount.
So you can load up the brush. One of the things that tends to happen is people load up the brush with too much water and not enough paint. So don't make the brush like super drippy with water because it's just going to hinder you and then you're going to have to try and fight